Matteo, welcome. Talk to me, if you would, about how banks are thinking about or approaching climate risk.
Yeah, thank you. Clearly, banking is at the core of transition and adaptation from a climate perspective. Banks, of course, are the conduit of financial flows in the economy. So because of that, they are so important, so critical, and at the center, of course, of the transition. First of all, banks are thinking of how actually they're impacted by climate risk, of course. But on the other side, they also influence how their clients are actually moving and transition. I have to say that in the last few years, last 2, 3, 4 years, focus has been on transition risk first. Now I see a lot of banks moving also on physical. So we see actually that impact that we have with the rising temperature, floods, and other type of hazards on clients is actually even more impactful. There is a big challenge with data in the industry, of course, but measurement is becoming more and more important because if you cannot measure, you cannot manage the risk. So the focus today is exactly on that topic.
What does the future of regulation look like in this space? How will it impact the industry?
Yeah. So, of course, I mean, banking is a regulated industry, and for regulators, climate risk is very, very important. And it's a journey also for them. It's a journey for the banks. It's a journey for the corporate clients. It's a journey also for regulators. So I have to say that the journey has been starting with disclosure. So it's been a lot of focus on disclosure. We call it Pillar 3 in banking, and then a lot of emphasis on embedding. So making sure that basically climate risk is embedded in the way banks operate and they do their business and they manage risk. On the other side, more and more there is focus now on measurement and making sure that we are quantitative, that we are precise, and at some point that actually we use this as a way to make credit decisions, and on the other side, of course, also support clients.
You say it's a journey. Where are banks on that journey, or at least on the right path?
We are at the early stages. There is so much ground still to cover. A lot has been done in the last at the end of the day 2-3 years because that's where we started this long journey for the good of the world in some way, and banks embarked in this journey. As I mentioned before, first of all, the data element is important, a very important one. It's not trivial, it's not easy, but banks are trying to address it, and there are ways to do it. And of course, it will take time, but we need to be patient and work on that immediately. Second, in the future, this concept of embedding climate in the business model will be more and more important. Regulators will push for it, but it's at the core. At the end of the day, climate management or climate risk will be at the core of the banking business model. By the way, the climate topic is probably the topic where we blend risk management and the opportunity side for banks. Because at the end of the day, if you understand the risk that your client is facing, you can also support with financing, whether it is transition financing or adaptation financing to fix physical risk problems.
Matteo, thank you so much.
Thank you.